Good day, everyone. I hope everyone is doing good. We have a cloudy day here in Manila, Philippines. My name is Bargain Bob. I am a New Yorker that has been living in the Manila, Philippines for quite some time now. I started this channel to basically get in for the vape scene, but the vape world has gone down into the toilet here, everywhere. And I've started to post videos about items that I come across here in the Philippines. Try to help people out with buying items offline. A lot of business here in the Philippines is conducted online using platforms like Lazada, Shopee, Facebook Marketplace, Carousel. But I digress. Everything in this video was bought by me for doing the said video. I want to thank everybody for watching right off the bat. Today we're going to take a look at a pair of speakers that I picked up recently from Facebook Marketplace. The Wharfindale Diamonds, I was going to have wood veneer put on, real wood veneer. But Boss Nelbert's wood veneer guy is MIA, so I was waiting. I waited 2 weeks. I saw this in Marketplace, and I could not pass it up for the price and for what they are. Now, what they are is the Mission 780s. They're very nice looking speakers. We have the Mission logo right here at the bottom. These are the rosewood ones, and they're in beautiful condition. And Mission, in this year, in this model, used real wood veneers. So this is a real wood cabinet. Really nice, really beautiful. We've got bi-amp or bi-wireable binding posts on the back. We have the copper plates in here as jumpers. I hate these, but I'll go into more of these about these later. 780 rear port. Got these nice little angle cuts on it. The only little flaw I found was this little mark right here. Very nice looking speakers, very good condition. Really, I love the beautiful rosewood. Now, these came in rosewood, they came in beach, and they also came in black. So, rosewood is my pick. I think it looks the best. These speakers came out in 1999. Let me take the front off. You can see Mission. Now, 99 was a really good year. Any of the speakers from the 90s in the early 2000s are better speakers, and this is the reason why. That was before they started doing the major cost cutting, moving factories to Malaysia, China, started using a lot more of the particle board, MDF board. These are real wood cabinets, really well designed. Came out in 1999. These are 8 ohm speakers, and these are the Mark IIs. And we have a little bit of detail here, 2-way reflex speaker. We have the hertz range, 8 ohms, 50 to 100 watts per channel is recommended. I'm using my Smsl A300 amp on these, and it works perfect, really well. It works out really well. Made in Liverpool, very nice. Very good looking speaker. I tell you what, this is a very beautiful looking speaker. Let me give you a little bit of specs on it. It uses a 133 millimeter woofer, or 5 1/4 mid or woofer, you want to call it. Creoform driver ceramic, really nice, very beautiful looking woofer. Has a 19 millimeter silk dome tweeter. The highs that come out of this little tweeter is unbelievable. They weigh 4.2 kilo each, or 9 pounds each. They're 6.5 inches wide, or 165 millimeters, by 11 inches tall, or 279 millimeters tall. And depth-wise, these are deep speakers, so be careful when you're putting them on your stands. And I recommend using stands on these. Depth-wise is 10.5 inches, 10.5 inches, or 264 millimeters deep. These were Speaker of the Year 3 years in a row when they came out in '99. And they were the first speakers designed by the new Peter, by a guy by the name of, in 1999, Peter, I don't know my French, so I might be murdering this guy's name, and I apologize, but Peter Como. He joined Mission as an acoustic director, and he still is the acoustic director of Mission. And the 780s was his first design that he came out with. And I tell you what, this became Speaker of the Year 3 years in a row. Now they say that this is they said this was a budget speaker, but I don't know. At $599 American dollar, I don't consider that budget. Anything under $500 is budget to me. Like the Wharfendales were $300. That's a budget entry level speaker. When you start pushing over $500, in my opinion, you're talking about a higher end speaker, at least mid grade, if not higher. And this speaker, the music that it produces is night and day difference between the Wharfendale Diamond 9s and what these are, in fact. They are really wonderful, wonderful sounding speaker. They have the signature Mission sound. They're really super highs, super mids, really work really well with the amp that I'm providing the power with. Really decent speaker. Now, when we're talking about real wood, one thing you don't want to use is pledge. Please don't use pledge on real wood. Now, yes, I grew up with pledge in my house. My mother had one can of pledge in one hand and a bottle of Windex in the other hand. So I grew up with everything being pledge, okay? But for real wood veneer boxes like this, I highly recommend using lemon oil, not pledge. Pledge will build up a wax on the real wood and will not allow it to breathe and can cause damage long term. I would highly recommend lemon oil. I love the lemon oil. It goes on really easy. It smells beautiful and it polishes up really nice. As you can see, these have had 2 coats of lemon oil put on them and they came out nice. The wood looks beautiful. The grain looks beautiful. It really does do a very good job on them. And another Bob's tip I'll give you guys on these vintage speakers, sometimes you'll start seeing the foam is starting to deteriorate, especially here in the Philippines. Okay? This foam gets brittle, starts cracking. The surround, it's also called. My little tip, silicone spray. Do not use WD-40. Please, I repeat, do not use a petroleum-based product like WD-40 on the surrounds. WD-40 does make a silicone spray, but you're paying double because of the name. This is a popular Filipino brand. I found this on Lazada. It was only 150 peso, $3, and this will last me the rest of my life in here. What you want to do is you just want to spray a little bit in the cap, okay? Wait a second for the fumes to dissipate. Use a cotton bud, or as we call in America, a Q-tip, and just go around the edges. Go around the edges. And if you're really anal like I am, you'll pull these plugs out, undo the front, undo the 4 screws for the woofer, pop the woofer out. Don't unplug. You don't even have to unplug it. Just pull it out a little bit so you get the Q-tip on the back side of the rubber. Okay? The silicone helps protect the rubber and keeps it soft and keeps it from cracking. So that's Bob's tip. Silicone spray, lemon oil polish for the wood. We used to use these on the mods for vaping, on the wood mods from DPM and from DJK and Wicked Wood. We would use the lemon oil. So that's where this whole thing came from. I've talked to a few people, and if you Google it, you'll find out that lemon oil is one of the top oils to be using on the wood. Not pledge. You'll see a lot of posts about saying not pledge. Vaping on my RVCC. with my Fruit Loops that I made the other day. I've got three flavors right now that are aging, so we'll try them out. What we'll do is I'll hook this back up to my system. Now remember, whenever you guys are dealing with unplugging and plugging in your speakers, always turn off the amp or receiver. Always. And if you really want to be anal like I am, you'll unplug it. Any kind of static, any kind of jump you get, it could cause damage to these speakers. Not so much the woofers, but more of the tweeters. So you need to take care doing stuff like this. That's one reason why I really love banana plugs, because it takes a lot of the headache out of disconnecting and disconnecting speakers. So let me hook these back up. Let me take a vape. Oh, nice. Nice. Okay, what we'll do is we'll hook these up and do a little bit of a sound test on these, and I'll be right back. Hold on, you guys. Okay, I'm back. I have everything hooked up. I have the speakers hooked up to the A300 amp and my SK10 Dac. I'm piping music in from my box going to the DAC fiber optically, and then I'm using YouTube copyright-free jazz music today, something different. As you notice, if you see my subwoofer here, you can see I silicone sprayed it and it looks like it's brand new, and I did it 2 weeks ago, so it still looks like I just did it. It looks beautiful. It's protected, and yes, I did unscrew the, I think 12 screws all the way around, and I used a Q-tip and I went around the back side of the speaker also, because I'm anal. So not only the front but the rear also. Okay, that's Bob's tip. Speakers are set up. I want to mention a few words about the speakers. These are the Mark IIs. The Mark Is they had issues with the woofer driver. The voice coil, they were having problems with the voice coil in the Mark Is. Mission, under warranty, of course, replaced most of them, but there are still a few 780 models out there, series Mark Is, that have not been changed. So buyer beware. Make sure that they've been changed. Now, how do you know that these are Mark IIs and not the Mark Is? One way is by the label on the back of the speaker. The Mark I said they were good up to 200 watt. Okay? The ones that say 200 watt are the ones you want to kind of avoid or take extra precaution and make sure you take a look at and make sure that that woofer has in fact been changed. Okay? So the new ones are 150 watt. These ones are rated up to 150. And also you can tell by pulling the woofer out and taking a look at the back of the number, the serial numbers on the back of the woofer. So that's another tip. Just buyer beware with these Mission 780s. They are stellar speakers. These were good speakers that I picked up out of Facebook Marketplace. The buyer was honest. The cabinets are in beautiful condition. I only found one little booger spot on it, but it was not a deal breaker, and I'm not going to cry over it because it's on the back of the speaker and I really don't see it. I really like the looks of these speakers without their grills on. But if you do have kids or cats, I understand you need to put them on. I will be doing a video soon on upgrading my speaker wires. I decided that since these are such good speakers, they deserve good speaker wire. Now, I spent a long time trying to look for 12 gauge wire, and I couldn't find any, so I had to go with these ICE cable 14 gauge. But I recently found good 12 gauge cable, so I'll be doing a video on that. So let's get to the sound test. Now today I'm going to be using a little bit of jazz. We'll see how it sounds. I'm normally not a jazz listener. I mostly listen to like Led Zeppelin, Pink Floyd, AC/DC, heavy metal music, some country music. I like my Hank Williams Jr. and my Waylon Jennings. But I digress. Let's try pause it. Turn it up a little. Smsl A300 only turned up 30. It goes to 100. This is only 30. I'll let you listen while I take a vape. Let me fast forward a little bit. Let's try something different, get something more energy behind it. I don't want to put you all asleep. Unbelievable mids and highs are really, they pop on these Mission speakers. Mission speakers are well known for how high, their highs are just very clear, very nice. I would not do a crossover upgrade on these. I really think the crossovers on these sounds really good. The only upgrade that I would do on these speakers is those jumper plates on the back. I hate those cheap jumper plates on the back. I would probably go with some really good 12 gauge wire as a jumper, and I'll do a video on that. I will be doing an upgrade on the jumpers. I decided that. I just decided I'm going to do an upgrade on the jumper. You will hear a difference between the cheap plates and wire, and we'll do that. We'll make a video on that. But let me turn it back up. I'm impressed how good YouTube music sounds through the SK10 Dac and the Smsl A300 integrated amplifier. I'm really impressed with how they sound. Being a Class D amplifier, your highs and the amplifier, actually people complain that it sounds too clean, too clinical, too bright. Well, with the Mission speakers, being from the UK and having that UK touch, they're known for being a softer speaker, so it's a perfect marriage because it tones down the Class D amplifier and makes it sound really good to my ears. In my opinion, my 50-plus-year-old ears, it sounds really well. And for a budget, if you're on a budget like I am, you're getting a lot of bang for your buck. I must digress. I don't know how all the other guys get away with using copyrighted music in their videos, but for some reason every time I try I get nailed with a takedown notice. So This is the best I could do with you guys, and this really is not the setup with the microphones to do a really good sound test. But I'm impressed with these Mission 780s, and these are a pair of speakers I will be keeping in my collection. I did part with the Warfendale Diamond 9s. I like those speakers, but I tell you what, the minute I plugged these in and powered my amp on and played some music through them, there was a night and day difference between the speakers. But you have to also remember, these costed twice as much as the Warfendales. So when you add that into the scenario, you're going to receive a much better speaker. The construction, the design, the quality of the components used in the speaker. I tell you, I played everything through this, from Eric Clapton, Steve Miller, Pink Floyd, Led Zeppelin, Black Sabbath, Pantera, Queensryche, everything. I've played everything. Even Seltzer, the Seltzer band, 50s jazz style music. I've played that through it, and everything sounds really wonderful, really enjoyable. I could listen to them for hours, no stress. They're really easy listening and really warm sounding speakers. Speakers today, they're made, the manufacturers had to go started making them cheap. They had to use cheaper components, cheaper parts, cheaper workmanship. They moved the factories out of, this one, Mission, moved out of England and made their main plant, I believe, is in China. No, Malaysia. I believe Mission plant is, speaker plant is in Malaysia. I digress. I forgot about that. I thought it was China, like Warfendale. Mission went to Malaysia, because my M30s were Malaysia. They have really good hardwoods in Malaysia. I wouldn't really worry too much about that, but the made in England ones are the ones try to obtain, and these are the last of the ones that are made in England, using all the best components and the best workmanship. So for my money and for my opinion, any speakers in the 1990s, early 2000s are really the speakers to grab. They're the speakers that have a modern technology. They have nice cabinets. They use real wood. They use high quality components on the crossover. They did a lot of workmanship behind them. So, but that, hey, for us bargain hunters, this was a steal in the Philippines. Mission. BMW seem to hold their value like Lexus. These Missions hold their value like Mercedes-Benz. They're very expensive. You buy them and then you can buy them for half price a few years later. I don't understand why BMW. I mean, I do understand why. I am a loyal BMW fan. I love BMW speakers, but a little bit has gone away to these Mission. I have a lot more respect than I've ever had for Mission speakers, and for being a fairly new company, I must say I'm quite impressed with their lines of speakers and everything that I've read and watched on YouTube about Mission. It's been a quite educational trip, a quite educational journey, I should say. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I like doing this because it helps me out with my disability and my mindset, and I appreciate anybody that watches. I really truly love you guys, for anyone that does take the time to watch. And hey, feel free to leave a comment. I reply to all my comments. Look me up on Facebook if you have any questions. Feel free to leave them in the comments, or look me up on Facebook and leave me a question there. I'm always available. I love to help people out. And if you guys have any questions or any qualms, just let me know, and I'll try to improve my videos. I did do a new intro. I hope you enjoyed it. And don't forget to check out my sponsor, Puffin Stuff, the #1 vape and head shop in the Philippines, in my opinion. And you guys be safe, take care, enjoy the music, relax, take time out for your family, and be safe, you guys. Love y'all. Take care. See ya.